I've said, Cory Booker will never be president of the United States. Now, I don't know that as a flat fact. It's impossible for me to know that as a flat fact, but I do believe that it's most likely to be true. Almost in absolute defiance of what I just said, Cory Booker is running in a presidential race. He is still in this presidential race. I didn't know he was still in this race. I had to actually look it up to ensure that he was still there. But he is still there. He is polling at a immensely strong 2%. He is, in literal terms, twice as much as someone else. Now you say, well, wait a minute, who's someone else? Someone else. In their polling, in morning consult polling, they have a section called someone else. Someone else is getting 1%. Cory Booker is literally getting twice as much as someone else. Now, someone else is 1%. Cory Booker just so happened to only have 2% in the polls. However, he's still running in this presidential race. Being 2% in the polls at this point, I would imagine, gives a lot of free time. Booker is complaining that a Senate trial or a lengthy Senate trial may take away from his campaign. He may potentially have to end his campaign because of the Senate trial. Nobody. It's not the Senate trial. For the reason you're ending your campaign has nothing to do with the Senate trial. That is your graceful bow out. I have to do this obligation under the Constitution. Is not what I would want to do, but I got to do it. And, it's hurting my campaign. And I'm polling at a strong 2%. I was about to spring up. I was about to have my moment. It's a fucking Senate trial. It's not the Senate trial, buddy. This gives Cory Booker, I would imagine, right much free time. In some of that precious free time, Cory Booker has decided to troll a YouTuber. Yes, a senator of the United States has taken his precious time to troll YouTuber Kulinski. Now, Kulinski is the host of Secular Talk. And if you remember, Kulinski has been on this show, if I'm not mistaken, at least twice. Or at the very least, he was supposed to be on the show, but he wasn't able to because there was a conflict in regards to the radio show. Nevertheless, I still consider him a friend of the show. I think he's cool people. And the trolling of him is somewhat funny because ultimately this doesn't necessarily end well for Cory Booker. A senator of the United States trolls a YouTuber and gets wrecked. Oh, not just senator, a presidential candidate. Welcome to the soapbox. My name is Jamarl Thomas. This is the Progressive Soapbox. Guys, if you dig this content, please like, share, subscribe. You can always support through PayPal. Patreon, this content is brought to you by you. We like to say even $1 helps. Patron appreciation, contributor appreciation. We will be having that. My wife has had a death in the family, not to mention the move. So there were a few things that kind of hit all at once. She will be back tomorrow, and maybe we can get something going on Sunday. But it will take place. Let's talk about Booker for a moment. Cory Booker, running in this presidential campaign, he hasn't had any breakout moments, and he has, for the most part, been trouncing around 1 and 2% this entire race. Now, that's not good or bad. And I know some people make this cry for, hey, we should have diversity and whatnot, but understand this is an election, and in an election, people make a choice on who they want. African Americans, Hispanic, people of color chose somebody else. What are you going to do? You're going to try to force Cory Booker or Kamala Harris down somebody's throat who doesn't want those people just because they're of a particular demographic? Yeah, this is politics. People, in this case, choose. Now, backstory. Why is Cory Booker trolling Kulinski? The infamous dance. What am I talking about? Dancing Queen. Elizabeth Warren gets on the campaign stump. I have to mute this because they'll copyright strike me. But Elizabeth Warren does her thing. She's feeling the music of Aretha Franklin. Now, this is somewhat awkward. I mean, I showed this video and I thought this video was just awkward. Whether this was Elizabeth Warren just in her natural habitat, doing her thing, meaning this is just the way she loosens up and goes with the crowd, or whether this was, look, we need you to be more authentic. We need you to be more loose and, that type of stuff. We need people to believe you more. And this was her Beto at the dentist moment. I don't know what this is, but whatever this is, whether she was feeling it or whether it was something else, it was slightly awkward. And people started designating it as such and trolling this video. This is kind of like Theresa May's dance. Theresa May's dance was far worse and more funny, but still, this is where this starts. Now, Kulinski, along with a lot of other people, makes comments. I know your terrible advisors told you to be more relatable and dance, but really the trick is being your authentic self. No more, no less. Now, you could say, okay, that's kind of sharp trolling, but what he's saying is legit. The trick is to be your authentic self. When they're looking at Sanders, they're saying he's more authentic. They're saying he's more authentic because he tells you what he's thinking, and it comes across that way. He's not. I give you an example. When the vote came up, when he says, well, Sanders, you voted for the Afghanistan vote, and he says, well, I was wrong about that. Politicians often don't like to make this thing of being wrong, and on the fly, he was just, bam, I was wrong about that. It just came naturally out of him. Authenticity. So, Booker, for whatever reason, sees this and intervenes. He's going to defend Warren's dancing moves. Raise your hand if you know why people are trolling Elizabeth Warren's dance moves and not my dad jokes. I'll raise my hand because you're polling at 2%. That's why. You're polling at 2%. Nobody cares about your dad jokes. And beyond that point, if what you're trying to get at is that this is some level of sexism of why they're going after Warren for dance moves, it's because it looks awkward. It has nothing to do with her being a woman. If you were out there breaking loose like this, I gotta be honest, you're at 2%, I probably wouldn't necessarily care. But yes, you may get joked on that. Her issue is she looks awkward. The difference between somebody joking her is because at the very least, she is in the top 3. You are in maybe the top 10. And I think if I'm not mistaken, in Morning Consult, you're number 9. There's a difference. It's not gender. It has everything to do with polling position. She's relevant because of her status in the election. That's why. Just to make the point. Now, Cal doesn't tackle that in this way. Cal comes back and says this. Here's me making fun of your dad jokes and Mayor Pete's dance, but congrats on your virtue signaling points. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. You were trying to get virtue signaling points, and you just got wrecked. Cory Booker, something, Trudeau's hair, Democratic debate. And he's talking about the whole dad jokes thing right here. Good God, he's talking about Pete's and his dancing. How are there like 14 videos per day of this shitty dance and shitty song with old Pete supporters? So wait, it's not sexism? He did troll Pete and Buttigieg, meaning he's an equal opportunity troller? What do you know? So does Secular Talk get an apology for this? You need to apologize, Cory Booker. You need to apologize, buddy. You were wrong. You were wrong. Not to mention, you're a presidential candidate trolling a YouTuber. I'll say this. That strong 2%. Let's say it this way. If Cory Booker was a top tier candidate like Kamala Harris, he wouldn't be trolling YouTubers. I'll just leave it on that point. I cannot believe Cory Booker is still in this race. Cannot believe he's still in this race. Well, I'll leave it here. I don't want this one to be long. I just thought this one was funny. Cory Booker is trolling Kulinski and gets wrecked. And I would imagine he has no response. No response for this. I would give Cory Booker a bit of advice. If you are a presidential candidate and you want to carry yourself as a top tier candidate, and even beyond being a presidential candidate, you are a sitting senator of the United States. Trolling YouTubers, probably not the best use of your time. Just pointing that out. Like, share, subscribe. I know these videos haven't been long today, but I still have a lot of stuff to fix up in this office, and it's already going to be another late night. But I may be on later tonight after I finish. I have 2 or 3 items that I need on my list for today. But I'll be back in a few. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks, everyone.